It's about that time for Jay in the Bay. Thanks for tuning in today. This channel is dedicated to all things 49ers, and I'm excited to bring you my perspective about the Niners, and I can't wait to hear your guys' perspective regarding the Niners. I'm originally from the Bay. Been a 49er since I was been a 49er fan since I was a child, and I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you this year, and also I'm looking forward to you guys liking and subscribing to my content, and I can't wait to hear your guys' perspective on the Niners this year. But first, I want to talk about the 49ers season last year. Obviously, I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't have imagined at the beginning of the year predicting that the Niners would go to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously we went with Harbaugh, but that just seems so long ago. After Harbaugh was fired, we had Jim Tom Sula, we had Chip Kelly, and obviously those were disaster hires. So to see the 49ers go to the Super Bowl was quite surprising. Um, at the beginning of the season last year, I predicted the Niners maybe go, 8-8, maybe 9-7. And I thought that would be a pretty good year considering the previous year before that we'd only won 2 games. And the previous year before that, we traded for Jimmy G, and we got Jimmy G started 5 games, and he had a pretty good year. So the expectations for the previous year were pretty good. Jimmy G would be starting, hopefully a full 16 games, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition. He got hurt, and we ended up going 2-14 under Kyle Shanahan. But I believe everything happens for a reason. That year set us up pretty well. And I say that because we were able to draft Nick Bosa out of Ohio State. And, he had an incredible year, right, Faithful? You couldn't ask for a better year from a defensive end, a rookie defensive end at that. And we also drafted Deebo Samuel in the first round. And he took off, Especially when we traded for Emmanuel Sanders. It felt like it opened up for Deebo. And Deebo, showed up and showed out. So, and also, regarding last year, I figured we would go 8-8, 9-7, but who would have thought the defense would be so well, right? The defense was able to get good pass rush on the opposing quarterback. That allowed the secondary to cover in less time, and also the opposing quarterback was never comfortable. We had Buckner, Bosa, D Ford, Eric Armstead. Those are the starting guys. They really did a great job. And also that helped our linebackers, with Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Quan Alexander, who we traded for from Tampa Bay. The linebackers played well as well. And the secondary with Richard Sherman, I know when he was a Seahawk, I respected Sherman, but obviously, I didn't look forward to facing him because, he was so good. But obviously, I'm glad that he's with the Niners. So with Richard Sherman, Jaquiski Tartt, Jimmy Ward all played well. Ahkello Witherspoon, he was playing well up until he got hurt. I don't know what happened. After he came back, I don't know if he lost confidence in his covering skills or maybe he wasn't confident in his body, or I don't know. But Emmanuel Mosley, was his backup, and he played pretty well. So I'm expecting big things from the secondary this year. And another thing that propelled our season last year, our successful season, was obviously Jimmy Garoppolo, but also that running game. Right, who would have thought Raheem Mostert would show up and show out? Breida played well. Too bad he won't be with us next year or this year. But Breida played well. Tevin Coleman was good. And the offensive line, big ups to Joe Staley. Too bad. I wish we could have won a Super Bowl for Joe Staley. It sucks. He's been to 2 Super Bowls but hasn't won any. But, good luck in retirement. And we appreciate you being a Niner for life, That's big ups to him. But we will move on. The offensive line, other guys on the offensive line played pretty well. And they were the reason I think Jimmy G had a successful year, and also the running game. They helped each other out, I feel like in order to have a good offense, I feel like you need balance. You can't be too reliant on the passing game. I don't think you can be too reliant on the running game. I think you have to do both. You have to do both pretty well, and I think we accomplished that last year. Key acquisitions from last year, I obviously talked about Quan Alexander. He helped out the defense. And also Emmanuel Sanders, who we traded from Denver. They played pretty well last year, and they helped us get to the Super Bowl. So obviously, The Super Bowl game, I thought we were going to win. I really thought we were, but we just couldn't pull it out. Pat Mahomes is great, but I feel like the defense had him, contained him, for about 3 quarters, but we just couldn't finish the job. So we had a great year, just couldn't, win that last game, obviously. But I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to talking back with you faithful fans out there. I want you to like, comment, subscribe my channel. I appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts on last year's season. What were your expectations compared to the actual results from last year? And I'm looking forward to this year, obviously. I wish I could go to some Niner games this year, but unfortunately that won't be the case, due to the pandemic. But I'm still looking forward to the Niners home opener, September 13th against Arizona. Arizona's a good team. They got Kyler. They traded for DeAndre Hopkins. I think they drafted, didn't they draft they drafted a young middle linebacker, I think out of Clemson with their top 10 pick. I think they did this year. So that should be interesting because the Cardinals, their Achilles heel lately has been their defense hasn't been that great. And the offense constantly has to carry them. So we'll see what happens this year. But I'm excited to see some football. And I can't wait to hear from the faithful. Let me know what you think about last year's season. Let me know what you think about last year's additions to the team. For instance, we got Javon Kinlaw, the defensive tackle out of South Carolina, I believe. So he should be able to replace DeForest Buckner. Buckner was great, right? But we'll see if he can at least step in his shoes and at least fill his shoes, at least be able to get some pass rush through the middle and stop the run. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Appreciate you guys watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.